Okay, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm really sorry that I didn't do last week. I'm kind of running behind, but I am at least making it up this week, so here we go. So for weeks 11 and 12, last week was 11, this week is 12. Last week being theme, and this week being getting into characters' heads, so I'm going to cover them both at once today. For theme, I generally write first and then develop theme later. Sometimes I try to write theme into my story while I'm writing the first draft, but it doesn't always come out well, because then I'm writing for the thematic effect rather than just writing the story, which is generally what I want to do. I much prefer to just write the story and enjoy myself than, try to do an overarching theme that's more about the theme than the characters. Dogs. I don't like reading stories that wallop me over the head with a point to where the flow of the story itself is sacrificed. For the most part, I like to read stories where I can feel that the author knows what he or she is doing with the story. Reading a book is like getting into a vehicle with someone else at the wheel. You're trusting the driver to know where he or she is going, how to get there, and that the trip will be entertaining in some way, enjoyable or upsetting, or both. I like to write the same way. I appreciate theme as a way... I'm sorry, I'm going to kill my dogs. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. I didn't murder my dogs, but I did ask them to be quiet. So, I like to write the same way. I appreciate theme as a way to tie pieces of a story together. The theme of one character could be his or her quest for a resolution that can't be resolved, or looking for a resolution in the wrong place. For me, theme is best kept at the tip of the tongue in prose, but never outright said. I prefer themes that have to do with character development and the interplay of a character with his or her environment and situation. Developing a theme for stories helps me give my characters and my story direction, but I prefer not to let the themes run the story. Themes are road signs, not the journey. This sort of leads into this week's topic, which I'm also doing, which is getting into characters' heads while writing. This particular aspect of writing is why I usually prefer to write alone, where there isn't anyone else around. That's because in order to get into characters' heads, I'll sometimes speak aloud like a character, like I'll speak as if I am that character, or I'll act out a scene, or I'll just make faces that reflect the mood a character is in, like I'll try and literally feel the emotion the character is in order to better anticipate what the character would do or say in that situation. So I guess if I was an actor, you'd say I was a method actor. I mean, I'm not a good actor, but if I was an actor and I was actually good, you'd say I was a method actor. I sometimes think I need a voice recorder because I've carried out entire conversations, out loud, in a brainstorming effort for a scene, and then I can never remember word for word what I said. And I've lost, some really good conversations that I've actually dictated to myself, and then I lost them because I didn't write them down because I couldn't remember them. So, I should probably get a voice recorder. So, of course, one time I pulled out a voice recorder and I got awkward and I couldn't speak, so I guess it would take practice. But I get into characters' heads basically by trying to explain them to myself, especially by asking myself how a character is different from me. So I can tell I'm making progress in character development when a character does or says something, right or wrong, that I wouldn't do. I try to write up character backstory for myself prior to using a character so I have a reference when I try to imagine how a character will react to something or how they'll feel in a situation. And of course, sometimes I don't even think at all and I just let the characters go, even when I don't know much about them. And so there's an equal amount of self-steering and just letting go that allows me to write at my best. So between trying to write a character in a certain way and then also sort of just getting into that state and just letting the character go. That's ideal for me. If I can sort of get into the character's head but not really try and guide where they're going, sort of let that state of mind be the guiding light or whatever. Guiding light. Let that state of mind be the guide for where the character goes. And so my characters will just on their own spout words and stuff that I wouldn't say, mean things, kind things. They'll react better to a situation than I would. They'll react worse to a situation than I would. They'll basically do things that I wouldn't do. And that's what I prefer, is when characters don't act or say things. They just don't do what I would. So I think that's it for Tuesday. It's going to have to be because I think I'm running out of battery on my camera. So Thursday is Thanksgiving, and I'm very excited about it because I love making food and I love eating food, and both will occur. So yay! And then comes Black Friday, which I'm less excited about because I'll be working all day, like literally from 9 to 5, which is not what I usually work, and it's retail, and retail is really exhausting for me for 8 hours. So please be nice to the retail people on Black Friday. If you go out on Black Friday, please be nice to us, because I'm not going to have been up since 5, but some people are going to. People at Kohl's are probably not have even gone to sleep, because Kohl's opens at 3. So people at Kohl's might not even sleep. So be really nice to the retail people on Black Friday because they're doing the best they can. They're people just like you. They're really tired. They're probably not going to get much food. And they're out there so you can buy stuff cheap. So be nice to them. Oh, by the way, I've got a tiger as my Beanie Baby for today because I've been reading articles about how tigers are expected to go extinct within the next 50 years. Which is horrible, and efforts are being made to preserve them, to preserve like their hunting grounds and where they live, and to eliminate poaching of them or like to severely reduce it. But it's still a problem because tigers are used a lot in sort of traditional medicine in China and in other countries. So it is quite possible that tigers would become extinct during our time, and that's really disturbing. So I have a tiger today, Stripes, who's here in solidarity with me. And just pay attention to this issue, so if you see anything that like says, oh, you could do this to help out the efforts, you could. So just get interested in that, because tigers going extinct would be a huge tragedy. And that'd be ridiculously sad. That'd be a landmark for how bad we are screwing up just stuff as humans. We kind of suck. Anyway. That's Tuesday. Tune in for Jessie tomorrow. Enjoy your Thanksgiving or whatever holiday you are going to be celebrating on Thursday. Just eat food. You know, everybody eats food. Talk to you guys later. Have a good Tuesday. Bye.